What will be that turns out cigarettes are bad for us of our generation? Hearing loss from earbuds. What? Hearing loss from earbuds? You dearly love some milk duds? Who's planting rosebuds? Loud concerts and driving with the window down at high speeds is already taking its toll on most people's hearing. People need to be aware of that shit. Look at an old person and think, what fucked them up, and protect yourself. Edit. Y'all motherfuckers need to find an online hearing test. Sitting for 8+ hours a day. My lab used to have a daily notification that told us to stand up and stretch. Sitting is the new smoking. #BUTTCANCER. The irony of course being that smoke breaks used to be the only excuse to stop sitting at work and take a break. I just go to the staff kitchen and eat my body weight in biscuits instead. Great exercise. God forbid, computer screens. Otherwise we're super screwed. Not so much computer screens, as they can't really do any harm independently, but looking at anything close to your eyes for long periods of time can. Edit. Jesus, I swear this is my most contested comment. It is really interesting hearing about both sides of this. Studies show conflicting information, but they seem to agree that if there is any damage it isn't permanent and is either mostly psychological or just our eyes drying out or getting tired. I'm enjoying all of these different viewpoints, pun intended, but I just can't keep up spooked face. Not enough sleep. Former sleep researcher here. This is definitely the answer. We already know the numerous public health implications, not only in lower grades for students, but also more medical errors, more traffic accidents, the cause of many plane crashes, etc. Yet it's still seen as a sign of weakness if you want to sleep a normal amount. Not to mention lack of sleep messes with your hormones and can be a factor in obesity, depression, breast cancer, and more. Edit. Since a bunch of you are asking, the recommended hours of sleep for most adults is 7 to 9. Second edit. The breast cancer thing is not necessarily true. There's been some new research since I left the field. Hearing loss isn't going to kill like cigarettes, but we sure beat the hell out of our ears via headphones. I'm 28, been playing in bands and using headphones since I was a preteen. Started experiencing tinnitus symptoms on a daily basis this year. I used to not think about loud noise, but being around construction on the street is stressful now because I can feel when my ears are being abused. We still don't know how to repair inner ear damage, so start wearing earplugs / turning down your music devices now, cause if you mess up your hearing, it's only the rest of your life. Samsung phones are always warning you of this. When you listen to music, it automatically turns the volume down every so often and has a red bar on the extreme end of the volume graphic. Sugar. Yeah, this is the answer that actually mirrors big tobacco. We're aware that it's not great for you, but it's actually way worse than most people know. Plus, heavily marketed towards kids. The reason for that is it's all owned by the big tobacco companies. They've been buying up all the food makers since the late 70s, when they started actually losing court cases about tobacco use. They started using the same hook them when they're young strategists too. Doesn't Joe Camel look like he could easily be on a cereal box? There's a reason for that. Edit. Man, after some of these replies, now I know how people in the 50s feel when they were claiming smoking was bad for you. I really pray it's not LASIK eye surgery. My LASIK didn't go well, sad face. That was meant to be a crying face, but my eyes no longer make tears properly, even years later. Can you explain how it didn't go well? I get intense starbursts and halos at night, which means my stargazing and moon-gazing days are over. It also makes driving at night a nightmare. These were all possible complications that I'd been warned about, so I really only have myself to blame. Too bad I can't just load a Sava game though and go back in time. Hey, me too. Makes me really sad remembering what fireworks and a full moon used to look like. Now they are just blurs in the sky, and having to go anywhere in the winter when it's dark before 5 PM is super stressful. Edit. For all of you who have thought about getting LASIK, don't let my story dissuade you. This was a known risk given my unique eyeballs. It never hurts to talk to a doctor and evaluate your individual situation. It could be the best decision of your life. Please don't be garlic bread. Bread makes you fat. Chicken isn't vegan. Well, of course not. But is gelato? It's milk and eggs, bitch. Edit. Mom, get the camera. My friend was telling me about this guy she used to date. Every time they'd go to a sit-down restaurant, he would tell the waiter/waitress his order and cap it with, "And that comes with free garlic bread, right?" Confused at first, the waiter would say no, sorry. When the waiter comes back with food or a drink, he would always say, "Oh, I'm still missing that free garlic bread." Turns out, if he wore them down and continued mentioning it, he would consistently get free garlic bread. As someone who used to be a server, that guy sounds like the worst. Edit. Jesus people, I've made much wittier comments than this. As someone who consistently tries to not be an asshole to waitstaff, fuck that guy. I'd be embarrassed to be seen eating with him. Fuck that guy. And that comes with free garlic bread, right? Putting your entire life online and having it all stored forever. There's going to be an embarrassing digital paper trail for the next generation of MPs, senators, and diplomats. I'd like to think that we'll get to the stage as a species where it won't matter that you made a comment on Twitter about wanting to eat your girlfriend's ass like a snack cake when you were 19, or because you once sent a photo of your breasts to a partner, but somehow I doubt it. That shit's going to end at least a couple of political careers before they even begin. Edit. Ass reduction surgery. There's even the point that early on, they have no control over it. Parents start sharing stuff on social media as soon as they are born. It's possible that we'll have high-powered politicians who have pictures of their first big boy poop on the internet somewhere. My sister-in-law has done this with my nephews. She's created Facebook pages for each of them where she writes accounts of their milestones, as if it's them talking. It doesn't sit right with me. Report it. It violates Facebook's terms of service. Turns out that filling the ocean with plastic refuse wasn't the smartest thing people in the early 21st century did. Quote from 22nd century textbook. Some scientists say we are in the Pleistocene era. It's kind of sad. Turns out shielding everyone from risk creates a low risk acceptance threshold. Yes, absolutely. As an example, the most shielded kids usually go wild whenever they get an ounce of freedom. Most fundamentalist parents don't realize this. Kids that are too shielded from the world can't really function within it. While I agree on the fact that shielded children will go overboard with their first doses of independence, I think more damaging is the reluctance to take risk at opportune moments. iPads for toddlers and young kids. While it's true that there are education labs, time spent playing with the tablet is time spent away from learning through real-world interaction. There are some studies that suggest that television is best left out until age 2 because the brain needs time to develop. There aren't any long-term tablet/iPad studies that I'm aware of, but I doubt it is beneficial. It's a quick way to entertain a toddler, which is part of the problem. Kids need to learn how to be bored. The alphabet, counting, and reading can wait. Edit. Wow. I didn't expect this comment to blow up. I think it's important to note that I'm not judging parents who use an iPad to entertain their kids. If that works for you and you think it helps your kid, go ahead and do that. No one is stopping you. My older kids actually do use my wife's iPad on occasion. My 8-year-old has taught himself new songs on the piano, how to ride a unicycle, how to solve a Rubik's Cube, and creates his own Rube Goldberg machines thanks to the internet. He also swims, golfs, bike rides, plays baseball, etc. It's not all or nothing, and I agree with that. I just think toddlers/preschoolers are better served interacting with their environment. At best, it makes no difference. At worst, it harms your child. Maybe it won't make a difference, but I'm not making my toddler a guinea pig for this experiment. It always breaks my heart when I see kids who don't know how to occupy themselves and just play, especially when combined with helicopter parents who never let their kid get dirty or fall down. These kids are constantly overstimulated with screens and bubble wrap to the point they will never develop any life skills. This is what makes a bratty, self-entitled adult who refuses to do anything for themselves and expects everything handed to them on a silver platter. Edit. Woo, my inbox blew up. Him referring to when parents don't bother trying to get kids interested and shove a screen in their face. Yes, I'm aware self-entitled bratty adults have been around forever. I'm also aware there are kids who can handle a lot of screen time and be interested in other things. Everything is a balance, including parenting, and it does depend on the child as well.